My husband demanded a DNA test. Then I got her baby's results, full story. My husband insisted on a DNA test for our baby, just to be sure. The results came back and proved he was the father of a child, just not our child. Turns out my paranoid husband was cheating with my best friend behind my back. And the only reason he pushed for a test is because he was terrified her baby might be someone else's. My name is Olivia Reed, I'm 28. My soon-to-be ex-husband is 30, his name is Jake. We live in Austin, Texas. Or at least we did. Right now, I'm staying at my older brother's place in Round Rock, trying to process how my entire life turned into a Reddit post. Jake and I met in 2018 at a friend's birthday party on Rainy Street. I was the designated driver, sober and bored. He was the funny guy doing bad karaoke and somehow making everyone love it. He came up to me afterward and said, "Please tell me you didn't film that, I'm trying to maintain some dignity." I laughed. "You lost that when you attempted Eminem," I said. We hit it off. He worked in IT for a software company. I was a nurse at a local clinic. He was goofy, charming, and incredibly attentive. He'd pick me up after long shifts with iced coffee, remember every little detail I mentioned about my patients and coworkers, and tell everyone I was the smartest person he knew. We moved in together in 2020, right as the world was falling apart. Quarantine either made or broke couples, it made us feel closer. Or so I thought. My best friend Harper has been in my life since I was 14. We met in high school in San Antonio, stuck together through bad eyebrows, worst boyfriends, and 3 moves. She moved to Austin a year after I did, and we were thrilled to be in the same city again. Harper is one of those people everyone instantly likes. Loud laugh, big hair, always the center of the group chat. Jake and Harper got along well. First, that made me happy. What could be better than your husband and your best friend liking each other? We became this little trio. Game nights, brunches, Sunday football at our apartment. Harper called us her favorite married couple. Jake and I got married in September 2022, small ceremony at a winery outside Austin. Harper was my maid of honor. She gave a speech about how she'd never seen Olivia look so happy, and how Jake was the man she'd always prayed her best friend would find. In early 2024, Jake and I started talking about trying for a baby. He was more excited than I was. "I can't wait to be a dad," he'd say, rubbing my stomach like there was already someone in there. "Our kid is going to have your eyes and my terrible dance moves." We weren't trying in the charting cycles and ovulation sense, but we stopped preventing. I went off the pill. We decided whatever happens, happens. In June 2024, I found out I was pregnant. I took the test at 5 a.m. before a shift. 2 pink lines appeared and I had to sit on the edge of the bathtub and breathe for a minute. I woke Jake up by tossing the test on his chest. He blinked at it, then at me, then at it again. "No way," he whispered. "For real?" When I nodded, he jumped out of bed and spun me around. He cried, I cried, it was this big emotional moment. He started calling the baby Peanut that same day. We told Harper a week later at brunch. She screamed in the middle of the restaurant, ran around the table to hug me, and cried into my shoulder. "My baby is having a baby," she said. "I'm going to be the most extra aunt in history." For a while, pregnancy felt good. Nauseous, exhausting, but good. Then Jake's behavior started to shift. He got weirdly suspicious. Anytime I was 5 minutes late from work, he'd text, "Everything okay?" If my phone buzzed and I didn't check it immediately, he'd glance over with this tight smile. He started casually asking, "Who's that?" Every time I got a DM. First I thought he was just anxious. We'd both heard horror stories about partners cheating during pregnancy. I reassured him. "I'm literally nauseous 70% of the time," I said. "The only person I'm cheating with is my pregnancy pillow." He laughed, but the vibe didn't fully go away. One night around 18 weeks, out of nowhere, he said, "You tell me if you ever cheated, right?" I blinked. "That's a weird question." I'm serious, he said. I've seen so many TikToks about guys raising kids that aren't theirs. I couldn't live with that. If anything ever happened, like if you slipped up before we got pregnant, you'd tell me, yeah. I stared at him. I have never cheated on you, I said. Not once. Not before the wedding, not after, not drunk, not sober. There's nothing to confess. He nodded, but he didn't look fully convinced. At my 20-week ultrasound, he came along. We saw the baby wiggle on the screen. The tech asked if we wanted to know the gender. We said yes. It's a girl, she smiled. Jake squeezed my hand. He cried again. He talked for days about his little girl and how he was going to protect her from all the losers out there. But the suspicion only got worse. He started making comments like, it's statistically not that rare for women to lie about paternity. I just want to be 100% sure, for my own sanity. One of my coworkers found out at 2 years old the kid wasn't his. Destroyed him. I got annoyed. One night after he made another comment, I snapped, "Do you think I'm that kind of person?" He sighed. "No," he said. "Not you. Just people." I've been down the insecurity rabbit hole. There are whole subreddits about this. Get out of the subreddits and into therapy, I shot back. He laughed, but a week later he brought it up again more directly. "Look," he said, "I know you haven't cheated. I trust you. But I know my brain. I know I'm going to spiral anyway. I don't want that. So can we just do a paternity test after she's born? Not because I doubt you, but because I'm crazy and I know it. I'll pay for it. We never have to tell anyone. I need that piece of paper." I hated the idea. On some level, it felt insulting, like being put on trial when I hadn't committed a crime. But I also knew how anxiety can eat someone alive. I'd seen it in my patients, in my own family. Will it actually shut your brain up? I asked. Or will you just find a new thing to obsess over? It will help, he said. I swear. Once I see it in writing, I'll never bring it up again. Reluctantly, I agreed. Fine, I said. We'll do a test once she's here. But you owe me a lifetime of trust after that. He hugged me, relieved. You're the best, he said. I promise this is just for my stupid brain, not because of you. Fast forward to February 2025. Our daughter, Mia, was born at St. David's Medical Center in Austin after a 22-hour labor that made me want to time travel and slap Eve for eating the apple. She was perfect. Tiny, screaming, full head of dark hair like Jake. The first 2 days in the hospital were a blur of feeding attempts, diaper changes, nurses coming in every 5 seconds, and me alternating between crying from hormones and staring at her in awe. At some point, when Jake went to get coffee, a woman came into our room. She had a clipboard and a badge with the logo of a lab I recognized. Hi, Olivia, she said gently. I'm Caroline with the paternity testing service. Your husband arranged for a legal paternity test for baby Mia. Is that correct? Even in my sleep-deprived state, my stomach clenched. Yeah, I said quietly. He mentioned he'd set something up. She was very professional, explained the swabbing process, the chain of custody, all that. She swabbed Mia's cheek, then mine, then Jake's when he came back. She labeled everything carefully with barcodes and our names. Results typically take about 7 to 10 business days, she said. They'll be mailed to the address on file and also available in the portal. Jake thanked her like she just delivered a pizza. I know this is weird, he told me after she left. Thank you for doing this. I swear I'll drop it after. I was too exhausted to argue. We took Mia home. Entered the newborn trench. No sleep, constant feeding, cluster crying between 2 to 5 a.m. My whole world shrunk to diapers, pumping schedule, and whether I'd showered in the last 48 hours. The paternity test honestly fell to the back of my mind, until about 2 weeks later. It was a Tuesday. Mia was napping in her bassinet, and I was on the couch doom-scrolling while half watching some reality show. Jake was at work. I heard the mail slot clack. I shuffled over, still in pajamas, and picked up a stack of envelopes. One had the logo of the lab from the hospital. My heart jumped. Then I rolled my eyes at myself. I almost set it aside. Jake was the one who wanted this. Let him open it. But curiosity and anger got the best of me. I opened it. Inside was a stapled packet with our case number at the top. I flipped to the page with the big bold statement. Across the middle, in capital letters, probability of paternity, 0%, excluded as biological father. I stared at it. My vision blurred. For a second, I genuinely thought I was hallucinating from sleep deprivation. I double-checked the names. Alleged father Jake Reed. Child, baby girl Emma Collins. Mother Harper Collins. I froze. Harper. For a moment, my brain refused to connect the dots. Then, like a wave hitting all at once. Jake. Harper. Paternity test. 0% probability. This wasn't our test. This was a lab letter addressed to Harper, saying Jake was not the father of her baby. Except, why was it in our mailbox? I flipped back to the front page. The address at the top was our address. The names on the outside envelope, Jake Reed and Olivia Reed. But inside, the test clearly showed a different case. My hands started shaking so hard I had to set the papers down. Harper had given birth about 2 months before me. A baby girl she named Emma. She'd said the father was a guy she'd been seeing casually, but it didn't work out and he was not in the picture. She'd laughed it off, said, "Who needs a man when you have good lashes and a stable job?" I thought she was just being flippant to cover up hurt. Now I looked at the paper again. Alleged father Jake Reed. Mother Harper Collins. Child Emma Collins. Result, 0% probability. I put a hand over my mouth. He'd taken a paternity test with Harper for her baby, and somehow their results had been mailed to us. I felt like I couldn't breathe. After a full minute of staring at the letter, I noticed there was a second document in the envelope. Another set of pages with our case number. This one had my name and Mia's on it. With trembling hands, I flipped to the result line. Probability of paternity, 99.999%, cannot be excluded as biological father. Jake was obviously Mia's father. No surprise there. But suddenly, that wasn't the important part. The important part was that the same lab that tested our baby had also run a test for Harper's baby, with Jake named as the alleged father, and somehow both result letters ended up in our mailbox together. Some idiot at the lab must have stuffed them in the same envelope because the address was the same. Or Jake had used our address for both tests. My hands were clammy. My chest hurt. Mia cried then, as if sensing my panic. I picked her up mechanically and rocked her while my mind spun. I grabbed my phone and texted Jake. The paternity results came in. He replied almost instantly. And? I'm the dad, right? My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I took a picture of the first letter, the one with Harper's name, making sure the result line and alleged father, Jake Reed, were clearly visible, and sent it. The typing dots on his end popped up immediately, then disappeared, then popped up again. Finally, "We need to talk. I'm coming home." Those 30 minutes between that text and the sound of his key in the door felt longer than my entire labor. He walked in, looked at me, looked at Mia, then at the envelope on the coffee table. "Liv, I can explain," he said. I laughed. It sounded borderline hysterical. "You know," I said, "I'm getting really tired of hearing that sentence." He ran a hand through his hair. "Okay," he said. "Yes. Harper and we messed up. It was a stupid, drunk thing. It only happened once. Before you were pregnant. Way before." The words hit like physical blows. "My best friend," I said slowly, "and my husband messed up. It didn't mean anything," he rushed on. "We were drunk after that stupid Friendsgiving last year when you fell asleep early. We were cleaning up. One thing led to another." "Stop," I snapped. Do not one thing led to another me. He shut his mouth. Blood roared in my ears. Harper had Emma with some random guy, right? I said coldly. Except clearly at some point she thought there was a chance the father was you. Because she took a paternity test. With you. And you didn't think that was worth mentioning. He started pacing. I panicked, he said. She told me she was late. She was scared. Said there was a chance it was mine. I swear I was going to tell you, but then she decided she didn't want to blow up your life over a hypothetical. We did the test and it said 0%, so I thought, okay, crisis averted. No need to destroy you with something that ended up being nothing. Nothing. I repeated. You had sex with my best friend and then lied to me for an entire year. She had a whole baby. You secretly took a paternity test. And because it came back negative, you decided I never needed to know. He flinched. I didn't want to lose you, he said. It was the biggest mistake of my life. I thought I could just bury it. Move on. Be a good husband and dad and pretend it never happened. Tears blurred my vision. Is that why you were so obsessed with a paternity test for Mia? I asked. Because you were projecting? Because you knew you were capable of cheating, so you assumed I must be too. He hesitated, then nodded slightly. I couldn't stop thinking about it, he admitted. About how easy it was to mess up once and how it could change everything. I thought, if I could be that weak, what if you? I didn't cheat, I said. You did. With the person I trusted most besides you. I grabbed the Harper letter and waved it. Do you understand how insane it is that the only reason I know is because some lab tech stuck the wrong result in our envelope? I said. If they hadn't screwed up, I'd still be here, sleep-deprived and stupid, thinking my husband is just anxious instead of a liar. He started crying. Liv, please, he said. I love you. I love Mia. It was one time. A lapse. I swear nothing happened after you got pregnant. Harper and I agreed it was a mistake. We haven't touched each other since. Congratulations, I said flatly. You get no medal for not continuing your affair while I was pregnant. I texted Harper. I got the lab results from the paternity test you did with my husband. No response. I called her. Straight to voicemail. I texted again. Don't ignore me. I have the paper. 3 dots appeared. Then, Liv, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to find out like this. Can we talk? I didn't reply. Jake reached for me. Please, he said. Can we just slow down? Talk this through? We have a baby now. Our family, I cut in, was supposed to be built on trust. Not secret paternity tests and projection. I packed a bag while he watched, tears streaming down his face. You're really leaving, he whispered. For now, I said. I need space. And I need you gone when I get back. You can see Mia, but we are not playing house like nothing happened. I went to my brother Dylan's place. He took one look at my face as I walked in with Mia's car seat and said, Okay, who am I burying? I told him everything. He was quiet for a long time. Finally, he said, You know what's wild? He spent all that time worrying she wasn't his, when he was the one who couldn't keep it in his pants. Classic. Over the next few days, Harper blew up my phone with messages. I hate myself for what we did. I was drunk, I was lonely, I was stupid, it should have never happened. I didn't tell you because I was terrified, and then when Emma wasn't his, I convinced myself it would only hurt you for nothing. Please, please don't cut me out of your life, you're my family. The irony made me sick. Jake also alternated between groveling and trying to minimize. It was one night, not a full-blown affair. Think about Mia. Don't blow up her family over one mistake. At least now you know I'm her dad for sure. At one point he actually said, If anything, this just proves how committed I am now. Dylan had to physically stop me from throwing my phone at the wall. I started therapy. My therapist said something that helped me untangle the guilt. She said, You didn't destroy your family by reacting to this. Your husband and best friend destroyed the version of your family you thought you had. The moment they decided to sleep together and hide it. You're just deciding what to do with the truth. Right now, here's where things stand. Jake and I are separated. I'm staying with Dylan while we figure out custody and whether I'm going to file for divorce or a legal separation first. I've gone no contact with Harper. She sends long paragraphs every few days. I don't answer. My parents know the basics. My mom is heartbroken but on my side. My dad wants to have a conversation. With Jake, that sounds suspiciously like it would involve a shovel. Do I still love Jake? Yes. That's the worst part. I look at Mia and see his face. I remember the man who rubbed my back through contractions and cried when he heard her first cry. But now, layered on top of that, is the man who slept with my best friend in our apartment while I was asleep in the next room. Let me stand next to Harper at my wedding while they shared that secret. Secretly took a paternity test for another baby, and then projected his guilt onto me to the point of demanding a test for our child. I don't know yet if I can get past that. I don't know if I should. What I do know is this. I will not raise my daughter in a house where betrayal gets swept under the rug because it was just once. So that's my story. My husband pushed for a paternity test for our baby to soothe his anxiety, and when the lab mailed the results, they accidentally included another test. The one proving he'd secretly taken a paternity test with my best friend's baby. That's how I found out about the affair they both planned to take to the grave. What would you do in my place? Would you try to rebuild for the sake of your child if your partner swore it was a one-time mistake? Or is cheating with your best friend plus secret paternity tests an automatic, no questions asked deal breaker? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read them all. And if you like stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Reddit Story Vault for more Reddit stories, relationship chaos, cheating drama, and full story time videos.